and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Daniel Leichman. Just after 9 a.m. this morning, the Citizens Fire Company No. 1, Weatherly, was requested by state police to assist in an incident by St. Matthew's Church on Quake and Spring Mountain Roads in Carbon County. According to the fire company's official Facebook page, Beaver Meadows and Hometown Fire Company Fire Police were requested for a person with a weapon behind the church. A Pennsylvania State Police armored vehicle was making their way to the scene just before 10 a.m. this morning. During the incident, all roadways were closed off to the public. The standoff continued for approximately 5 hours before the suspect was taken into custody and left the scene in nearby woods by ambulance by police escort. As police personnel left the scene, forensic crews were pulled into the field where the suspect had fled into before being taken into custody. As of 2:50 p.m. this afternoon, the police have cleared and roads have been reopened, according to Hometown Fire Police. Interstate 81 North was shut down near the New Angola exit this morning due to a crash involving a pedestrian. The incident occurred around 4:15 a.m., where both northbound lanes were closed by first responders. 47-year-old Laura Vocious was parked along the on-ramp where she exited her car for unknown reasons before being struck by a tractor-trailer. According to PennDOT, the road was reopened around 8 a.m. Investigators are calling a case of child neglect in Wilkes-Barre Township the worst they've ever seen. Dana and Richard Rouse were arrested earlier this week after it was discovered that their 6 children, ranging in age from 2 to 11, were living in deplorable conditions. According to police, the home had exposed electrical wiring, no running water, and only a space heater for heat. The 2-year-old boy was discovered with feces on his face, and the home was reported to have a horrible odor. The parents have been charged with child endangerment, and the children have been taken into custody of the state. Due to yesterday's abrupt change in weather, the Plymouth Fire Department and rescue were dispatched for a motor vehicle accident with unknown injuries. According to emergency personnel, once they arrived, they found an SUV that had collided with a parked vehicle. The occupant within the vehicle had removed themselves and refused EMS. A 19-year-old man from Avoca has been arrested for allegedly having a sexual relationship with a 13-year-old girl. The victim told investigators that she met Gavin Thomas on Snapchat, and the two began dating and allegedly having sexual relations. Thomas is being held in the Luzerne County Correctional Facility as he was unable to make bail. 2 men accused of exchanging gunfire earlier this month are now facing an additional charge of endangering bystanders. The additional charge means that even if the 2 men refuse to testify against each other, prosecutors can still pursue the case. According to police, Keith Allen Estep and Stevan Xavier Mercado II both fired shots from their shared home in Berwick that endangered others. A backpack with a variety of pills and narcotics were also found within the residence. Both men have been charged with aggravated assault, firing into an occupied structure, and reckless endangerment. They remain in Columbia County Prison, unable to make bail. A 15-year-old from Shenandoah is facing charges after he was found driving a stolen vehicle. According to Pennsylvania State Police in Frackville, troopers conducted a traffic stop due to the vehicle being reported as stolen. The driver of the vehicle was a 15-year-old male and was found to be under the influence of a controlled substance. Upon a search of the vehicle, marijuana and other related paraphernalia was found. State police say that the 15-year-old will be charged. Government officials, along with local, state, and federal law enforcement, announced a dismantling of a gun trafficking ring organization in Pennsylvania. The head of the organization, Larry Williams, purchased and illegally sold a total of 117 firearms across the southeastern region of the state. The 8 defendants from Philadelphia were arrested on dozens of felony charges, including straw purchases of firearms, illegally transferring firearms, and operating a corrupt organization. Coming up on WYLN News, trout season is making its way to us in April, but the Pennsylvania Fish and Boat Commission are getting ready early. Plus, how's your sleep schedule? Daylight savings time is right around the corner. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast, brought to you by the WYLN Weather Kids. We'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Ezra. I'm 5 years old, and it's pretty windy out. You can see so, and it's a very strong wind.
want your child to be our WYLN Weather Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on WYLN News and WYLN social media posts just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the WYLN News Facebook page. Submit your Weather Kid video today.
Hey, it's Justin from Grand Central here to ask you, is your kitchen ready for an overhaul? We offer free in-home consultation and design, no interest financing, professional removal and installation, countertop and backsplashes, hardwood and laminate floors, kitchen appliance sales, service and installation, and of course, everyday low prices. Grand Central in Hazleton, helping you make your house a home.
There's no better place to shoot than Whitetail Preserve. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicap accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 for more information. Get ready for the ultimate sports breakdown with Marty Burns on Let's Talk Sports. Every day during WYLN News, Marty brings you the latest news and analysis on your favorite teams and players. From the biggest games to the latest trades, he's got you covered. So tune in daily to Let's Talk Sports and get in the game with Marty Burns.
Getting to the finish line starts with Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute, the region's leader in sports medicine. Our specialists use the most advanced technology for faster, better results, so elite and everyday athletes can compete like champions once again. Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute. Your health deserves a partner.
Looking for a tax service you can trust? Look no further than Honest Abe's Business and Tax Service. They have a team of experienced professionals dedicated to providing top quality service and accurate returns. Don't stress, pay less. Honest Abe's Business and Tax Service, 259 Claremont Avenue in Tamaqua.
Hey, it's Justin from Grand Central here to ask you, is your kitchen ready for an overhaul? We offer free in-home consultation and design, no interest financing, professional removal and installation, countertop and backsplashes, hardwood and laminate floors, kitchen appliance sales, service and installation, and of course, everyday low prices. Grand Central in Hazleton, helping you make your house a home.
Welcome back to WYLN News. Think boating may be for you? Nescopec State Park will be hosting a basic boating course on Saturday, March 4th, for participants 11 years of age and older. The certification course is suitable for both first-time boaters and seasoned boaters and will cover basic boating regulations and requirements. The classroom course also has the certification exam at the end that will earn the participant a boating safety education certificate. The event is open to the public, but pre-registration is required. To register, you can email Aaron Lapicini at alapicini@pa.gov. The course will be held in the Raphael J. Musto Visitors and Environmental Education Center from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Participants under the age of 18 must be accompanied by a parent or guardian. The PA Turnpike Commission has partnered with African American artists and performers in southeastern PA to celebrate Black History Month and showcase the area's talent at the Turnpike's King of Prussia Service Plaza.
She gave us to Abel and Cain. We kept the sun from burning Adam's neck as he walked along the Euphrates. We know the Tigris and the Nile. We are Mesopotamia and Cush. We were pushed down river. We were laid in a basket made of reeds, and we were pushed down river on the head of the chosen one. The angel who was commissioned to count us coiled each one of us along the way, making nature's only perfect circle, and spread us throughout the diaspora like light spreads through darkness. We are in Ethiopia with the Holy Grail. We are in Timbuktu hiding ancient scrolls. We are Noah. We survived the flood. We are the shield that frees you to dance under the equatorial sun. And we are so faithful, so infinite, so tough, we return even stronger with every rain.
It has been announced that Norfolk Southern will be compelled by enforcement actions to complete testing and remediation on their own dime around the derailment in East Palestine, Ohio. Governor Shapiro visited residents who received water testing following the derailment in Beaver County this morning. The governor said that ensuring the health and safety of Pennsylvanians is his top priority. With daylight savings time right around the corner, some sleep experts are arguing that adjusting the clocks isn't such a good idea. According to the American Academy of Sleep Medicine, losing an hour of sleep can lead to increased risk for motor vehicle accidents, medical errors, and cardiovascular events. To try and alleviate these negative effects, AASM recommends adjusting your sleep and wake times by 20 minutes each night for 3 days leading up to the time change. The doors are locked and a sign is attached to the front entrance of the Carbon County Friends of Animals in Jim Thorpe. The sign states that the shelter will be closed until March 20th due to cases of ringworm that were found in some of the cats. Not all of the felines are affected, however, but those that are currently being treated. However, despite being closed, the shelter is still accepting donations, like cleaning supplies. For now, the Carbon County Friends of Animals Shelter in Jim Thorpe will not take in any cats or adopt any out. The Carbon County Friends of Animals will be closed to the public effective Monday, February 20th through March 20th, 2023. As the weather gets warmer, fishing enthusiasts across the state are gearing up for trout season. This week, the Pennsylvania Fish and Boat Commission has been starting the process of restocking over 3 million trout into creeks and lakes statewide. The job is part of their annual preseason trout stocking operations. For those eager to get out and cast a line, the opening day of trout season is Saturday, April 1st, and Mentored Youth Trout Fishing Day is on Saturday, March 25th. To buy your fishing license or to volunteer to help with the trout stocking, you can visit PFBC website at fishandboat.com. Coming up on Weatherly's News Choice, Marty Burns enjoys the sunshine on this Thursday evening with Let's Talk Sports. Plus, Chris Fulmer continues our history lesson on Shenandoah on A Path Through History. And stay with us for everything else we have lined up for you later tonight on Wyln TV.
Your guide to everything Pocono Mountains is PTN, the Pocono Television Network. Tune in and see all the unique places to stay and things to do in the Pocono Mountains. Watch PTN on WYLN.
You always get a feel-good shopping experience at Grand Central in Hazleton.
Have you ever experienced that super pushy salesperson who follows you all around? Not here.
Or wandered around that big box store looking for help in the appliance department, only to find the pink guy? Not here.
And we have an experienced, courteous sales staff here to help you find the perfect mattress, piece of furniture, or appliance with no pressure.
And don't forget, everyday low prices.
You always get a feel-good shopping experience at Grand Central in Hazleton.
Hey, did you know WYLN posts news stories and other bonus content on social media all week long? The Weather Kids, Fresh from the Farm, Everyday Heroes, Let's Talk Sports, Feel Good Friday, daily news stories, and more. Visit WYLNTV.com, Facebook, and YouTube to check it out. WYLN, the local leader on social media. We're your local network.
PPW Nation, get ready for the best of PPW Season 2. Join Paul Bowe, E. Julius Kuiper, Alexander Bravado, Tom Mitchell, and Alex Watt as we take you down memory lane and relive some of the best PPW matches of all time. Saturdays at 5 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN.
This week on Let's Talk Chiropractic, Larry Schultz, we want you to see what an adjustment is like. Not too gentle, not too rough, but let it change your life.
Welcome to a Thursday edition of Let's Talk Sports, brought to you by the Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute. And some things in the national sports level just to go over, and talked a little bit about it earlier this week. Shohei Ohtani, apparently his agent has hinted that Shohei is going to test the free agent market, and for his skill set with both pitching and hitting, it's going to be a very interesting what kind of price it's going to take to get Shohei Ohtani either to remain with the Angels or sign somewhere else. You could be guaranteed that both New York teams are looking at Mr. Ohtani to join their organizations, possibly in free agency. In the National Basketball Association, we've talked about some of the players getting bought out and teams adding on, and the Miami Heat did that with Kevin Love and Cody Zeller. Not sure how that's going to work, but the Heat, I'm sure, have an idea. I know Kevin Love was hoping to talk to the Philadelphia 76ers, but I think with his injury history, it'd be pretty hard to commit to anything to Kevin Love. Maybe he'll prove me wrong and have a successful rest of his season that's injury-free for the Miami Heat. And just when I thought that there were teams that couldn't make things work, the Clippers are apparently going to sign Russell Westbrook. You've got George, you've got Leonard, you've got all these guys at the men of basketball. I don't know how Russell Westbrook will fit in. Once again, another opportunity to prove me wrong. Some injury concerns, Giannis, and we'll just call him Giannis. I'm not even going to embarrass myself by trying to say his last name. Injured his wrist. They're basically saying they're not sure when he'll be back. It depends on how painful that is, and that could be a big blow for the Bucks with the Sixers breathing down their necks. In the East, the Bucks would love to be that top seed, or at least keep a 2 seed, but depending how long Giannis is out, that could be a big hurt to the Milwaukee Bucks, no pun intended. And we had talked about earlier the week the changes to the Eagles. How about Shane Steichen, new head coach in Indianapolis, and Jonathan Gannon, the new coach of the Arizona Cardinals. Gannon taking some blame for what happened in the Super Bowl. Maybe I could agree to that partially, but sometimes the players have to make plays, and as I discussed, the defensive line and secondary were a little bit of a disappointment in that Super Bowl. We'll get you ready for the weekend tomorrow on a TGIF. Let's Talk Sports. Thanks for joining us tonight. It's brought to you by the Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute.
Getting to the finish line starts with Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute, the region's leader in sports medicine. Our specialists use the most advanced technology for faster, better results, so elite and everyday athletes can compete like champions once again. Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute. Your health deserves a partner.
Your guide to everything Pocono Mountains is PTN, the Pocono Television Network. Tune in and see all the unique places to stay and things to do in the Pocono Mountains. Watch PTN on WYLN.
Like and follow WYLN News on Facebook for the midday WYLN News update, posted between noon and 2 p.m. Powered by Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton, the all-new emergency room at Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton is nearly double the size. Our updated facility features all private rooms, the latest technology, and a quicker, easier check-in process. Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton, your partner in ER care.
There's no better place to shoot than Whitetail Preserve. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicap accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 for more information. Do you like craft beer? Do you want to learn the right way to sample wine? How about checking out a restaurant with a unique flavor or a crazy food challenge? These are just some of the things we are featuring on Wine, Hops, and Road Stops. So, spend some time learning about great wine, great beer, and great food on WYLN TV 35.
It was during the 30s and 40s that the two most famous Shenandoah residents of all became national stars, heard on the radio and in ballrooms everywhere on a regular basis. Jimmy and Tommy Dorsey, born 1904 and 1905 respectively, were the sons of a former coal miner turned musician who taught them to be strong musicians themselves. Tommy proved a prodigy with the trombone, and Jimmy was strong in the saxophone and later the clarinet. Their professional careers began when they formed the Dorsey Novelty Six, which would become one of the first jazz bands to broadcast on radio. They would be part of numerous other band leaders' acts, notably Rudy Vallee's, before forming the Dorsey Brothers Orchestra in the late 20s. They appeared regularly on the radio in the early 30s, with their band including a young Glenn Miller for a year, but the brothers would have an acrimonious split in 1935 and go their separate ways, each forming his own band. For the next 15 years, they would become major big band stars on their own, Tommy producing such hits as I'll Never Smile Again and Marie, and Jimmy charting with titles like I'm Glad There Is You and It's the Dreamer in Me. Eventually, by 1953, the brothers would reconcile and recombine their orchestras. In their last years, they hosted a variety show on CBS, Stage Show, which included the first national television appearances by a young truck driver from Memphis named Elvis Aaron Presley. Tommy died in 1956 and Jimmy in 1957, faintly right as the big band era was ending. The brothers' impact on the genre, however, can never be understated. By the early 1940s, the world was at war, and many Shenandoah men joined the struggle against tyranny and oppression. One of these men was Corporal Anthony D'Amato. A truck driver before the war, D'Amato joined the Marines and was assigned to the 5th Amphibious Corps of the 2nd Battalion of the 22nd Marines. D'Amato would participate in the North Africa campaign, being cited for meritorious conduct in his role in the Marines' capture of Arzew, Algeria. In 1943, his unit would be reassigned to the Pacific. It was there, on February 20th, 1944, on El Gelbi Island near Eniwetok Atoll in the Marshall Islands, that D'Amato threw himself on a grenade that had been tossed by the Japanese into the foxhole he was sharing with two fellow Marines. The blast killed D'Amato, the first Shenandoah resident to die in World War II, but saved his associates. For his heroism, Corporal D'Amato was posthumously awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor. Today he rests in Honolulu National Cemetery of the Pacific. Shenandoah has not forgotten D'Amato today. The local American Legion post, with a large mural of him on its outer wall, was named in his honor, as too is the D'Amato Zamotowitz Trophy Shenandoah Valley plays Monomoy area for every year in the season's final football game. And the U.S. Navy would name the destroyer USS D'Amato, which sailed from 1947 to 1994, in his honor as well. Eventually the war would be won, thanks in part to the effort of many of Shenandoah's men. But Schuylkill County was starting to change when they returned, as the demand for coal was starting to decline. The mines held on as long as they could, but the industry started shriveling, and the population began a long, slow decline to its current number of about 5,000 residents, about 1/6 of what the town was at its peak. Nonetheless, success stories still happen in Shenandoah. In 1959, the town's residents saw John Morgan Davis, who had been born in the borough in 1906, elected as Pennsylvania's lieutenant governor. Davis, who had served as a judge in the Pennsylvania Court of Common Pleas prior to his election, served 4 years as lieutenant governor under Governor David Lawrence. Afterwards, Davis would be nominated by President Lyndon Johnson to the U.S. District Court for the Eastern District of Pennsylvania, on which he served until his death in 1984. And then there were the pierogies. In this case, they came from the kitchen of Mrs. Mary Twardzik of Shenandoah. Her son Ted figured that these pierogies were more than good enough to sell in stores. And so, in 1952, he began doing just that, offering them to local grocery stores. Originally popular among the Polish, whom the pierogi was a native dish, the food's apparel soon spread to all ethnic groups. Today, what is called Mrs. T's Pierogies, in honor of Mary Twardzik, ships pierogies from coast to coast, earning over $11 million per year. Run today by Mary's grandson, its headquarters are still in Shenandoah, showing that industrial power in the town is still strong.
And that's the news. Remember, the source matters now more than ever. Catch all the latest on our Facebook page, YouTube page, or at WYLNTV.com. Stay with us. A look at today's weather is next, right here on WYLN TV.
You're watching WYLN TV 35.
In the beginning, there was the wilderness, and the wilderness was everywhere. What is a metropolitan area today was once deep woods and swamps around the turn of the 1800s, not where you'd expect a settlement to rise. There was, however, a road, the Berwick Turnpike, which allowed Moravian missionaries to travel from the Lehigh Valley to the Wyoming Valley. And in this location, what the Moravians called St. Anthony's Wilderness, there was abundance